Hello students, I am Bindu. How are you all? Imagine that you are Hindu or Muslim and living in a part of the USA, United States of America, where Christians are the majority group. Even though you are a US citizen, no one will rent the house to you and you may find discrimination at your workplace. How would this make you feel? This will make you feel very uncomfortable. What if you decided to complain about this discrimination and you were told to go back to India? Would this not make you feel angry? Your anger could take two forms. Firstly, you might react by saying that Christians should get the same treatment in places where Hindus and Muslims are in majority. This is a form of retaliation. Secondly, you might take the view that there should be justice for all. Or you may fight or stating that no one should be discriminated against on the grounds of their religious practices and beliefs. This is the essence of secularism. So, students, in this lesson, you will understand Indian secularism and its meaning. Learning outcomes. You will be able to understand secularism, give reasons for the separation of religion from the state, write about Indian secularism as per the Constitution. Keywords: fundamental rights, the basic human rights enshrined in the Constitution of India, which are guaranteed to all citizens. Democracy, a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. Tyranny, a state under a cruel and oppressive government. Personal law, a law that applies to a certain class or group of people or a particular person based on religion, faith and culture. Coercion, the practice of persuading someone to do something by using force or threats. Freedom to interpret, it refers to a person's liberty to develop their understanding and meaning of the religion they practice. Intervene, to interfere with force or a threat of force. Introduction. In history, there are various instances of discrimination, exclusion, persecution, and torture on the grounds of religion, and in the civilized world, no one wishes for such discrimination based on religion. Example: how Jews were persecuted in Hitler's Germany and how several million were killed. Now, the Jewish state of Israel treats its own Muslim and Christian minorities quite badly. In Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, church, etc. And nor can they gather in a public place for prayers. In all the above examples, members of one religious community either persecute or discriminate against members of other religious communities. These acts of discrimination take place more easily when one religion is given official recognition by the state at the expense of other religions. In India, can the state discriminate against citizens on the grounds of their religion? Indian Constitution protects against the tyranny of the majority. Secularism refers to the separation of religion from state power. The Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices. India adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. Why is it important to separate religion from the state? Firstly, it is important for the proper functioning of democracy. Secondly, it prohibits the domination of one religion over another. The tyranny of the majority could result in discrimination or coercion. The majority could quite easily prevent minorities from practicing their religions. Any form of domination based on religion violates the rights that a democratic society guarantees to every citizen irrespective of their religion. Therefore, the tyranny of the majority and the violation of fundamental rights that can result from it is one reason why it is important to separate the state and religious democratic societies. Thirdly, to protect the freedom of individuals to exist from the religion, embrace another religion, or have the freedom to interpret religious teaching differently. Secularism in India. As per the 42nd Amendment, India became a secular state in 1976. With this, India doesn't have any official state religion. The law of the country work in several ways to prevent religious domination. Constitution has been changed over the years to reflect new concerns of the polity that involves a change in the fundamental nature of the country. What is Indian secularism? The Indian Constitution mandates that the Indian state be secular. One religious community does not dominate another in a secular state. In a secular state, same members do not dominate another members of the same religious community. The state doesn't enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individuals. The Indian state uses a strategy of distancing itself from religion. The Indian state is not ruled by religious group, nor does it support any one religion. In India, government places like courts, police stations, government schools, offices, etc. are not supposed to display or promote any one religion. Non-interference. This means that to respect the sentiments of all religious practices. The state makes certain exceptions for particular religious communities. The government schools cannot promote any one religion. To respect the sentiments of all religions and not interfere with religious practice, the state makes certain exceptions for particular religious communities. For example, Sikhs wear pagdi or turban as a religious practice. Hence, they need not wear helmets while riding a two-wheeler. Indian secularism works to prevent the domination of a majority religion over a minority. To prevent this religion-based exclusion and discrimination of lower caste, the Indian Constitution bans untouchability. In this, the state is intervening in religion to end a social practice that it believes discriminates and excludes and that violates the fundamental rights of lower castes who are citizens of this country. Also, to ensure that laws relating to equal inheritance rights are respected. A state may have to intervene in the religion-based personal laws of communities. The intervention of the state can also be in the form of support. In Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs. It means that any interference in religion by the state has to be based on the ideals laid out in the Constitution. To end social practices, the state may have to intervene in religious-based orders. The First Amendment of the US Constitution prohibits the legislature to make laws respecting an establishment of religion or prohibits the free exercise of religion. It means the legislature cannot declare any religion as an official religion in the USA. Separation between the state and religion means neither the state nor religion can interfere in the affairs of each other. The Indian state is secular and works in various ways to prevent religious domination. USA versus Indian secularism. In USA, complete separation of religion and state. In India, both state and religion can and often do interact and intervene in each other's affairs within the legally prescribed and judicially settled parameters. In USA, the state cannot give any financial support to educational institutions run by religious communities. In India, the state provides all religious minorities the right to establish and maintain their educational institutions, which may receive assistance from the state. In USA, the state does not intervene in the affairs of religion till the time religion is working within the limits of the law. In India, Indian secularism, the state shall interfere in religion to remove evils from it. In USA, the state is distanced from the religious activities and practices of its citizens. In India, The state has a policy of setting up departments of religious endowments, WAF boards, etc. It is also involved in appointing trustees of these boards. Do you know? In February 2004, France passed a law banning students from wearing any conspicuous religious or political signs or symbols such as the Islamic headscarf, the Jewish skull cap, or large Christian crosses. This law has encountered a lot of resistance from immigrants who are mainly from the former French colonies of Algeria, Tunisia, and Morocco. In the 1980s, France faced a shortage of workers and therefore provided visas for these immigrants to come and work in the country. The daughters of these immigrants often wear headscarves while attending school. However, within the passing of this new law, they have been expelled from their school for wearing headscarves.